In April 2026, Raja Raghuwanshi was brutally murdered while on his honeymoon in Meghalaya. The primary suspect was his wife, Sonam. The police built what appeared to be an airtight case, compiling a 790-page charge sheet of forensic data and witness testimony. But despite this overwhelming volume of evidence, the court granted Sonam bail and allowed her to walk completely free. The court's decision triggered immediate public outrage. Rumors of corruption or a lack of solid evidence began to circulate, with many questioning if Sonam was actually innocent. None of those theories were true. The evidence against her remained strong, and she has not been cleared of the crime. She was released because a chain of procedural failures by the state proved that, in court, a breakdown in paperwork can override a 790-page investigation. The failure starts with a core pillar of the Indian Constitution, Article 22(1). This law dictates that if law enforcement takes away your freedom, they must immediately and clearly tell you why. When the Meghalaya Special Investigating Team tracked Sonam down in Ghazipur, they handed her an intimation of grounds of arrest. This document is the legal proof that the police are adhering to Article 22(1). However, the officers left every single checkbox detailing the specific allegations against her completely blank. This is a significant legal oversight. If a suspect isn't officially informed of the accusations, they cannot prepare a defense, meaning her fundamental constitutional right was violated from the moment of her detention. The mistakes continued with the specific charges. Sonam was meant to be booked under Section 103(1) of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the legal code for murder. Instead, police recorded the charge as Section 4031. Under the new code, Section 4031 does not exist. They mechanically copied and pasted this non-existent charge across every document, including the arrest memo, inspection memo, and case diary. For the court, this repetition showed that the officers were not applying independent judicial thought to the case, but were instead blindly following templates. The justice system has checkpoints designed to catch these errors, but in this case, they failed. During her initial remand hearing, Sonam had no legal counsel present to flag the typographical error. The second safety net was the magistrate, whose job is to verify the legality of an arrest within 24 hours. The magistrate also missed the fact that the documents charged her with a crime that was not on the books. These failures allowed the defense to pivot their strategy. They didn't have to argue the facts of the murder, they only had to prove the state broke its own rules, shifting the court's priority from the crime to the illegal nature of the arrest. Granting bail is not an acquittal. The court imposed strict conditions, including a 500,000 rupee personal bond and a ban on leaving Shillong. Any attempt to contact witnesses would lead to her bail being immediately revoked. The focus now moves to the trial. To secure a conviction, the prosecution must rely on mobile tower data and forensics to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The Supreme Court has maintained that overlooking illegal arrests sets a dangerous precedent of state overreach. If the justice system ignores procedural laws because a crime is horrific, it risks allowing the state to operate without accountability. Ensuring the state follows the law is the only way to ensure that the justice eventually delivered to criminals is final.